Hey there, Ebby here. Welcome back to the channel. How you doing? How you living? How's life treating you? Let me know. I really want to connect with more people here on the channel and just talk and just chat. Like, let's build a community together. Let's support each other. As we get into the end of the year, one thing I've done this year that I haven't really done in previous years is just review my work. I spent the past couple of weeks just reviewing all the photos I've taken this year and even the year before, and just trying to pick out my favorite photos. I want to start doing more work on my website and just putting up my best photos. I even want to make a book of street photos, a book of fog, and just put my work in the monograph and just show my work in the way that I want it to be seen. I'm tired of just sharing it online and just leaving it there to just do nothing. I want to put it all together and see what I can get. And for me, it's been taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but that's what I've been working on. What have you been working on? Let me know in the comment section down below. But on to the topic on this video. Here in Canada, when it gets to December, January, February, March, it's wintertime. It gets really, really cold. And here in Canada, we have 3 levels of cold. It gets really, really cold, somewhat cold, and just like, it's just okay cold. And in between all those colds, we get snowfall. And when it goes from really, really cold snow to like just a little bit warm and just slight snow and rain, and in between those periods, we sometimes get fog. And that's what happened this past week. We got a little bit of fog, and you know me, if you've been following this channel, you know I love fog. I love shooting foggy conditions. I love getting out there and just seeing what I can create because I love the mysteriousness of fog. And I've spoken about it on this channel before. I put a link up here for you to check out. In this video, I'm going to be taking you on a trip with me as I went out and I shot these 9 rolls of film under foggy conditions. You'll be seeing what results I was able to get, and throughout the video I'll be talking to you about my thoughts on them and my thoughts on fog, and my thoughts on expired film in general. Let's dive right into this one. The fog usually disappears when the sun comes up here in my neck of the woods. When I checked the weather app, which I'm always on, it said that the fog was going to be from midnight up until 8 a.m. So what I wanted to do was get up really early and spend about a couple hours shooting fog, but those plans changed, as you see later as we dive into this video. So the first thing I wanted to do was head out. So I headed out around 5 a.m. in the morning to see what I could get on the streets, and I was planning to spend between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. just shooting some fog. Now going into shooting this first roll, I didn't actually remember what roll was in the camera. All I knew was that it was a 400 speed film that was expired, and I was going to be shooting it at 200. Now, as I found out later, is that this roll was a roll of Provia 400, and even though I overexposed it by a stop, it still turned out a little bit okay. For the most part, mostly because it was at night, and just one stop of overexposure at night is not going to do it that bad. If it was during the day and you overexposed a roll of slide film by one stop, your highlights will probably have been gone. But the fact that it was at night saved me a little bit. Now here's some shots that I got on this roll of Provia 400 that I shot first early in the morning. My car battery ended up dying when I got to one of my first locations, so I ended up having to spend an hour and a half here just waiting for the tow truck services to come and give me a boost because my battery is slowly fading away. I need to replace this battery, but it's going to cost me about $500, and I'd rather spend that money on film. Kidding, I just don't have the money right now. After shooting this roll of Provia 400, I loaded a roll of XP2 into the camera, continued walking around waiting for the tow truck to come, and just finished off this roll of XP2. I ended up finishing this roll of XP2 in the same area. The good or bad thing about shooting this Fuji GW690 is that you only get 8 shots per roll. And on this day, I was feeling really trigger happy, so I ended up finishing this roll quicker than I thought I would. After I finished off this roll, I just waited for the tow services to come. He came, gave me a boost, and I headed off. I still had about 30 minutes before I had to head home. So I drove to another location and I loaded in some T-Max 400 into my camera. This roll of T-Max 400 expired in 2000, so I was going to be dropping it 2 stops and shooting it at about 100 ISO to get some usable results. I saw the Subaru on the side of the road, so I decided to bring out my camera and take some shots here. I was here thinking that I'd lost my opportunity to get a couple more shots on this nice foggy day. But after I dropped my daughter off to school, I noticed that we still had some fog in the atmosphere. And now I had the day off from doing anything else. So what I decided to do was just go around to the closest trail, to the closest woods areas, and just take a couple of shots. The reason why I went to the woods and not just drive around is that during the day, there's just a lot going on in my area. There's just a lot of cars, a lot of people, and just a lot of things. I don't like a lot of people in my pictures when I'm not like shooting street photography. Usually I like going out at night or early morning because, for lack of a better expression, the world is dead or the world is slow. I like slow. I like not people and cars in my images. So what I decided to do was go on this trail close to where I live, and I decided to continue shooting at this trail, and I think I made a good decision. Right now I'm just headed into the woods. I got my GW690. I do have a tripod for the camera. I also have my Leica M2 here. Just heading out because we got some fog in the air. Fog in the air. There's some fog in the air. Now, when it comes to expired film, what you need to know is that for black and white, you usually get better results. For color, you usually get okay results unless it's a high-speed film. Anything above 400, 800, you definitely get a lot of grain and sometimes color shifts, but you just need to hope and pray that it was stored properly. Now, when it comes to expired slide film, you need to shoot it at box speed and just pray. If it was stored properly, you will get good results. Fuji expired slides are better than Kodak and better than Agfa. So if you want to get into shooting expired film, black and white first, then color, then slide. If you really want to shoot expired slide film, go for Fuji expired slides, because in my experience, they hold up much better than any other slides. After shooting a couple of rolls of the T-Max, it was time to load in the Agfachrome RS1000 that expired in 2015. Now, usually with a slide film, I like to shoot it at box speed, but I found in my testing with this 1000 RS, because I do have 6 rolls of this, I found in the last roll that I shot that shooting it at 500, you get a lot more shadow detail. Now, shadow detail is definitely important when shooting under these conditions because I want to see into the trees. So I decided to rate it at 500 and shoot it at that. When I got to this location, I was so excited to shoot it. This is one of the places that I love coming to. I shot it in the fall, I shot it in the summer. I'm going to shoot it now in fall. When it's winter time, I'm going to come back and shoot it again once there is snow on the ground and see what results I can get. I have like an image in my mind of having during fall, during winter, during spring, and during summer, just like putting 4 of the same shots in the same compositions and seeing what that looks like. Maybe have it on a print, who knows. But this particular location is one that I really like. So after I was done with this roll of RS1000, I loaded in a roll of XP2 and I completely just finished off the roll in this one location, shooting different angles, different spots, and I just finished off this roll of XP2. After the roll of XP2 was done, I loaded in an expired roll of Ilford FB4. Now this FB4 came in a batch of FB4 and Delta 100 and Delta 400 that I picked up off of Facebook Marketplace. So I didn't exactly know when these rolls were expired. All I know is that they were expired. The person I bought it from said he bought it back in 1995, but he wasn't sure when it expired, probably around 2000. So I shot this roll of FP4 at a 50 ISO. After this roll of FP4 was done, I loaded in a roll of Delta 100. Now, I've never really shot Delta 100 before, but I really was excited to see what the results could be. Again, I didn't know when this one expired, but I knew it expired sometime between 2000 and 2010, so I ended up shooting this at 50 ISO as well. I really liked shooting this trail and shooting this particular location, but if I could go back and talk to myself, I would tell myself not to spend all this time shooting this one location. I ended up spending about 3 to 4 hours here shooting, and the main reason for that was that I didn't expect the fog to last as long as it did. Now, if I knew the fog was going to be lasting this long, I would have spent maybe an hour at this location, gone to another location, and gone to another location, and seen what I was able to get along the way at these different locations. But the mere fact that the fog just kept on staying. I just kept on staying at this one location because in my mind, at any moment, the fog could dissipate and I would have missed shots. But now that I've shot this location, I can take it off the list and just next time explore somewhere else. Now, based on the images that I got back, I'm not too happy with the images that I've seen here, mostly because I do not like having my images congested. Now, seeing and shooting these trees, the images feel very congested. I sort of like minimalistic images that just have a lot of negative space in the images when I'm shooting nature, when I'm shooting these foggy conditions. Now, the fact that these images were shot in the woods, it just like cramps the images too much for me. And maybe there's like 3 or 4 images here that I really liked, and the images are the ones that are not too congested and too cramped. And I think I'll take that with me next time I go to different locations and next time I'm shooting trees in different areas under such conditions. So maybe this was a waste, maybe it wasn't, because I learned what I do like and what I want to see and shoot moving forward. When it comes to the expired films, I really like the way that they turned out. I was pleasantly surprised at the way the Delta 100 looked, the way the FB4 looked, and the way everything came together. Like, I developed this at home using Rodinal and D76, and everything came out beautifully. Like, do they look expired? Do these film stocks look expired? You tell me. They look like they're like fresh rolls, right? So expired film, sometimes it's bad, but for me, in my experience, most times it's really good. Do you shoot expired film? Let me know in the comment section down below. That brings me to the end of this video. If this video has provided you any value, please make sure you do the things, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, as this goes a long way to making sure I produce more content like this. Until next time, make sure you stay safe, make sure you film, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.